What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here, and welcome back. Well guys, we did it. The Slowhands Tortoise Backs pre-order has officially ended as of yesterday. It's already been 2 weeks since we launched the pre-order, and I do want to say thank you to everybody that did get their orders in within that 2-week period. So in today's episode, I am just going to be giving you guys some updates on the project if you ordered during the pre-order, and if you didn't, I'll be giving you some information on where you can go to get them now. Now I'm also going to be teaching a cool sleight of hand move. This is just kind of a little flourishy thing that I like to do. It kind of spices up some of your tricks for the camera and for live performances. Nothing super crazy, but just a fun little thing that I like doing and thought you guys might get a kick out of. All of that and more coming up, guys, but before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
Okay, so first let's get into a few Slowhands V2 updates because I really can't wait to share some news with you guys. Now, I'll be honest because, you know, I told myself I would be. I'll just come out and say it, guys. I'll be transparent. I have good news and bad news. Now, the good news is definitely going to be specific to those of you who have already pre-ordered. Basically, the good news is we got the decks sooner than we expected, which, I mean, given everything with COVID and all the delays and setbacks and everything, I'm so happy we were able to get the decks a little bit ahead of schedule. What that means for those of you who pre-ordered is that you're probably going to be getting your deck shipped out sometime next week. And no promises, but if you're in the United States, it's very likely that you might even get your decks before Christmas. But we got the email from USPCC a couple of days ago letting us know that all of our decks are packaged, ready to ship, and good to go. We had them dead shipped over to the warehouse overnight, so hopefully they'll be getting there sometime next week, at which point everybody is on standby waiting to ship out these orders. So thank you guys for those of you that ordered. The time is almost here. Now for the bad news.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I just want to start by saying there's no way that I could have known that this was going to happen. This isn't something that I had planned for. This is definitely not something that I feel like I had a lot of control over, but oh my god, did you guys seem to love the Slowhands Tortoise Backs. So basically the bad news, if you haven't figured it out yet, we sold a lot more during the pre-order than we expected, so we are looking at a limited supply now. Don't worry if you did not get yours, we haven't sold out, but we are working with a lot more limited of a quantity than we originally thought. So we are going to be releasing the decks at their regular retail price on December 23rd, tentatively, assuming that the decks get to the warehouse on time and assuming that everything goes according to plan. December 23rd should be the official release date where we can put them on the website and have you go and pick them up. Once the decks are in the warehouse, ready to ship out, packaged up, and we know how many we have left, then we will be releasing the rest of the stock to you guys. Again, I just want to pause and say thank you guys. For those of you that have pre-ordered, it was definitely something that I was a little bit nervous about. Being the fact that we didn't go to Kickstarter this time, we were relying strictly on our ability to make an awesome deck of playing cards that would sell, and I want to say thank you to everybody who's bought one so far. Right now, some other updates and just things that you guys can look forward to for the Slowhands Tortoise Backs. As soon as we get the decks in the warehouse, I will be having some shipped to me so that way I can take some pictures, do a review, and share them with you guys here on the channel. But we're also going to be looking into things like giveaways, so if you weren't able to grab one, maybe we can still help you out. The official trailer, obviously, we can't shoot until we have the deck, but I assure you we have gone to great lengths to make sure that we have a deck secured for the trailer in time to push it out. I think just in general, with COVID this year, I'm pretty much expecting that everything from here until the end of the year is going to go wrong, but at this point, so far, everything has gone right and even better than expected in some cases. But hopefully we can ride it out and get this deck to you guys as quick as possible, ideally before Christmas for some of you. Now those are your Slowhands V2 updates. Now let's get into the tutorial. Right now, this is basically, it's a card flourish. It's a 3-packet cut. It's really interesting. It's actually something that I came up with during the Slowhands V1 campaign. If you pledge for a certain tier on the Slowhands V1, you've already seen this tutorial because you got it included with the package, but essentially it is a 3-packet false cut that I created. It's usable because it's false, so it is something that you could use to spice up your performances, but also it is just very satisfying to do. So grab some cards and let's learn it. Okay. So the flourish looks like this. Hopefully that was in focus. Let's see, I'll do it again, just for good measure. Maybe from this angle. And from this angle. So like I mentioned, the nice thing about this cut is that it is usable in performance because it is or can be used as a false cut. So you can see we have the 3 of diamonds here. I'll just leave it face up. So you can see we cut the packets, and no matter what, the order is undisturbed. Now that is true for the whole deck. The whole deck goes back to the same order. So if you were to do this with a brand new deck, you could do that cut 100 different times and every card would still be in orientation. All right, now in order to do this flourish, it is fairly simple. So if you're an advanced level cardist, you probably won't have any trouble doing this, but ultimately you want to start holding the deck like this. So instead of holding it like in mechanic's grip or dealer's grip or anything like that, you're gonna hold it sideways like that. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll take your left. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to take your thumb and middle finger, and you're going to peel off a little bit less than half of the deck. Okay, so you're here, peel off a little bit less than half, maybe closer to like a third. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use these two fingers down here as kind of hinges to open this up almost like a book. So you're here, these two pinchers, come over, peel off a little bit less than half, hinge it down, and then you want to get your index finger ready because it's going to help you split off the third packet. Okay, like this, peel, hinge. Now for me, I like to go down a little bit past 90 degrees. So like where that would be 90, I like to go about like that. It just makes the cut a little bit easier for that third packet. Here, boom, hinge just past 90. Now take your index and cut off a small piece of that packet. So now you've got 3 packets. And now what you have to do is reposition your grip with your left hand. So we go here, we hinge it down, split off that much. So now what we need to do is move our pinky from here to here so that we can swivel freely that bottom packet. This. Go down past 90 degrees, split off another packet. Then over here, you're going to move your pinky here. Then you're going to put your index here, and you're going to take your thumb and grab this top packet. So you're just going to transfer it from your index to your thumb, and now you can swivel the cards. Now that swivel is important because it has to be clean. The packet has to stay together or else the whole flourish looks pretty bad. So you got to hinge, kick off, reposition, transfer from your index to your thumb, and then now you swivel and you're left with something like this. Okay. Now all you need to do is close it up. So you're going to take this packet here with the 6 of hearts, and you're going to lift your right hand up and push with your index, apply pressure to pull it down. Now you're left like this. And all you're going to do is drag this forward, put it back on the hinge, how you took it off, and close it. Let's go super slow motion. So we're holding it like this. Index and thumb, peel, hinge, use that index, re-grip, move your pinky back, kick this from your index to your thumb, swivel it outwards. Now you've got 3 packets, right? Now this middle packet, the most unstable one, you're gonna apply some pressure with your index while you pull up with your right hand to close it. And now you're left like that. Push forward, re-hinge, close it back, and then I always rotate the deck and then rotate the top card just as a little garnish for that flourish. I think the hardest part is just getting that transition clean like that, because a lot of times what'll happen at first is you're gonna peel, and then this part, when you swivel, the transition wasn't clean, so now the cards are gonna fall and they're gonna be messy, and then it's gonna look like that. So you really wanna make sure when you're doing this that you're taking your time, going slow. That's why this is called the snail cut. Hey guys, it just occurred to me during editing that I actually did not mention that before. The title of this flourish is called the Snail Cut. It was invented, like I said, exclusively for the Slowhands 1 campaign. Our logo was a snail, so there you go. So let's say you've practiced this a bunch of times, you're getting pretty good. It should look about like that. You can of course do it faster. I actually like the more dramatic movements with this flourish because it's so slow. It kind of helps, I don't know, increase the intensity. But you could always if you're good at cardistry, you know, do it a little bit faster. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode and some of these Slowhands updates. I hope you guys are as excited about the deck as I am. This one is just something that is so special to me. Obviously the first one is irreplaceable, but I think just in terms of producing this deck, Nick and I had a lot more of an idea of where we were going, and it really shows in the design. So if you guys are interested in picking up the deck but you haven't yet, don't worry. We still do have a limited supply available, and we are going to be releasing those on December 23rd. That's 2 days before Christmas. We will be adding a very limited stock of the Slowhands V1, so if you want to grab both as part of the collection, you'll be able to do that, but you're going to want to get there early. Thank you again to Nick Nisco for designing this deck. Thank you to Alex for helping us produce it, and I think the three of us have really pulled off something special. So guys, if you're watching this, congrats. I think we earned it. And of course, none of this would be possible without you guys. And in fact, as most of you know, Slowhands as a brand is it's built around the community, and it's built around the newcomers, and it's built around the people that are just finding their ground in Magic. So if that's you, then this deck is for you. All right guys, I've taken up enough of your time. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Make sure you drop by elementalplayingcards.com on the 23rd so you can pick up a deck of the Slowhands V2 Tortoise Backs. And with all that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.